Hey guys, Digitech Lifestyle here, back with another video. Right, today it's a bit of a odd one. Here you have Colonel McGregor. He used to be worked in the military in the USA. He's going to be talking about the issues that he sees upcoming, the cancellation of the general election that you guys have over in America, the banking system collapse. It could go down for about 2 or 3 weeks. The crimes that are in America right now, it's a mess. So I'll let you play. And then I got a video to play with from the FBI warning 50 warning out to 50 of America's states, or terrorist warning they've put out, and then we're going to hear from Obama. And I never thought I'd play an Obama video, but in my videos. But he's going to be talking about the Middle East and the issues there, and I may show you a screenshot of. No, I won't, because I don't want to be accused of. No, I don't want to be accused of stunning. Anyway, carry on.
You're absolutely right. I don't think we'll ever get to the 2024 election. I think things are going to implode in Washington before then. I think our economic financial condition is fragile. It's going to come home to roost in ugly ways. I will tell you, I don't know exactly how it will happen. I think we're going to end up in a situation where we find out the banks are closed for 2 or 3 weeks and nobody can get into them.
You think so?
I think we're going to run into something like that, yeah. I also think that the levels of violence and criminality in our cities is so high that it's going to spill over into other places in society. People that normally think they can live remote from the problem are now beginning to be touched by the problem. Then I look at this thing in Ukraine. I think Ukraine is going to lose catastrophically. It's going to be a complete collapse. And that, too, is going to have an effect here at home, because people are going to say, well, wait a minute. Everybody told us Ukraine was winning. Everybody told us X, Y, and Z. I mean, it's sort of the Russian hoax on steroids. All of those things are going to come together or converge in some way that's going to prevent us from reaching, the status quo. Oh, another election. Oh, another set of campaigns, and so forth.
That's right, Sharon and Micah. The FBI director says the threat of terrorism against Americans has been elevated all year, but the war between Israel and Hamas is now pushing it to levels possibly not seen since 9/11. Israel and Gaza may be half a world away, but the ripple effects of the war between Israel and Hamas, the Palestinian terrorist group which controls Gaza, may be felt as close as your doorstep. In fact, it's already happening. Today, a new warning from the head of the FBI.
We definitely believe that there's a heightened risk of potential violence here in the U.S., especially from lone actors inspired by any number of foreign terrorist organizations or by domestic ideologies, in some way using the conflict as an excuse or a justification, as horrendous and misguided as that would be, to conduct attacks here against Jewish Americans, Muslim Americans, Arab Americans, etc.
Christopher Wray spoke before the Senate Homeland Security Committee Tuesday morning. He explained law enforcement officials in the United States already are seeing an increase in reports of threats, including bomb threats against synagogues and physical assaults on individuals. He noted the murder of a 6-year-old Muslim boy near Chicago now being investigated as a federal hate crime.
Foreign terrorist organizations have called for attacks against Americans and the West. Al-Qaeda issued its most specific call to attack the United States in the last 5 years.
Certainly, everyone has to be vigilant.
Professor Brian Levin founded the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism at Cal State University, San Bernardino. Levin says in Los Angeles alone, hate crimes against Jews are up 175% from this time last year. And hate crimes against Muslims in Los Angeles are up a whopping 700% in the last year. Bottom line, everyone needs to stay vigilant. If you see something suspicious, say something.
I actually weren't going to show you this, but this post here on Twitter. These are countries in the Middle East, and then I'm not going to read it out because like that's a trigger word, and you might get accused of something. And the answer's there really. And guys can go and do your own research on this as well for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. And let me go get you the Obama video.
A losing strategy for us, I think, is when we are so insistent on our purity, when we're so self-righteous about our positions, that we can't see those folks. Or we're talking down to them, or our general attitude is, that we're going to convince you about how wrong you are. I have not seen that work yet. Any chance of us being able to act constructively to do something, it will require an admission of complexity and maintaining what on the surface may seem contradictory ideas. That what Hamas did was horrific and there's no justification for it. And what is also true is that the occupation and what's happening to Palestinians is unbearable. And what is also true is that there is a history of the Jewish people that may be dismissed unless your grandparents or your great-grandparents or your uncle or your aunt tell you stories about the madness of anti-Semitism. And what is true is that there are people right now who are dying who have nothing to do with what Hamas did. And what is true, right? I mean, we can go on for a while. And the problem with the social media and trying to TikTok activism and trying to debate this on that is you can't speak the truth. You can pretend to speak the truth. You can speak one side of the truth. And in some cases, you can try to maintain your moral innocence, but that won't solve the problem. And so if you want to solve the problem, then you have to take in the whole truth. And you then have to admit nobody's hands are clean, that all of us are complicit to some degree. I look at this and I think back, what could I have done during my presidency to move this forward as hard as I tried? I've got the scars to prove it. But there's a part of me that's still saying, well, was there something else I could have done? That's the conversation we should be having. Not just looking backwards, but looking forward. And that can't happen if we are confining ourselves to our outrage. I would rather see you out there talking to people, including people who you disagree with. If you genuinely want to change this, then you've got to figure out how to speak to somebody on the other side and listen to them and understand what they are talking about and not dismiss it. Because you can't save that child without their help. Not in this situation.
Things off. I'm going to finish off with this video. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. With this, Jeffrey Sachs talking about why the issue with that country has never been solved and will never be solved because there's a mandate, according to him.
The basic point that is hammered into every politician's head in Washington for decades is never show any space between the United States and Israel. And every politician is on a rote pattern to believe that. and every political advisor emphasizes, don't ever raise a question mark, you will be attacked. You will be attacked by large Jewish donors. You will be attacked by Christian fundamentalist donors. You will be attacked by interest groups. You will be attacked by the Israeli government. It's a basic standard of American mainstream political life not to show any space between the United States and any Israeli government.